Drawing a pie chart. Now, when you're asked to draw a pie chart, there's one really key bit of information you must remember. You must remember that the degrees around the point always adds up to 360 degrees. And if you remember that fact, then it shouldn't be too difficult, hopefully, to draw a pie chart. Now, what we're given here is we're given a pie chart representing the different types of films and how many people liked each type of film. So we've got romance, which 14 people like the favourite, thriller, which 21 people like the favourite, comedy 33, scary 7, and other was 10. And what we need to do is we need to find out how many people took part in this survey altogether. So we add up 19 and 21 and 33 and 7 and 10, you get the answer 90. Now, those 90 people have got to be made into 360 degrees around this point. So what we need to find out is we need to find out how many degrees each one of those 90 people is worth on the pie chart. And to do that, we need to think, what do we times 90 by to get to 360? And to get 90 to 360, we multiply by 4. So each person is worth 4 degrees on our pie chart. So, what do we do to find out the number of degrees for each section? Well, what we do is we take our 19 people who like the romantics the best, times it by the 4, because each person's worth 4 degrees, and we'll find out the degrees for that section. So 19 times 4 is equal to 76. So romance is going to be a section of 76 degrees. To find out the thriller, we do exactly the same. We take them 21 and we times it by 4 to give us 84. 33 times 4, well, that is 132. 7 times 4, that's 28, and 10 times 4, that is 40. And then we've done this correctly, these 5 degrees should add up to make 360. Which they do. Now what we've got to do is we've got to draw each of these sections on our pie chart and make sure that we label it as we go. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to do this with the pie chart, with the angle measurer, but you'll get the idea. And make sure you always use a pencil and ruler. When you're drawing a pie chart, the first thing you must do is make sure that the centre is highlighted, because this is where you're going to put your angle measurer, your centre of your angle measurer when you're measuring each angle. You also need to make sure that you draw a line from the centre to the outside. I generally draw mine from the centre directly upwards. And then we've got to go around drawing each individual angle. So the first one we've got to draw is an angle of 76 degrees. So we get our angle measurer, put it in the centre, line up our cross with our dot, and measure around 76 degrees. Move our angle measurer out of the way, and we're going to draw and then draw a line from our centre to the dot. Remember to label your section, so this section is romance. Next, we now need to move our angle measurer and use our new line as our centre. And if you do that, then you should be able to draw your next angle round. Which I'm going to use a new angle measurer to do this. Round. Measure around 84 degrees. Put a dot. And move your angle measurer out the way. So there's my 84 degrees. Draw a line and label it thriller. Do exactly the same again. Get your angle measurer. Line it up with your new line, your new beginning line, This time I measured around 132 degrees. Put a dot, 132 degrees. Move your angle measure out the way, 132 degrees. Draw a line and label it comedy. And finally, do exactly the same for the last section, and you'll find that you get something which will look like this. It's not exactly right, this, and label that scary and other. But the key thing to take out this video is how to find each individual angle to help you draw the pie chart. So what you had to do was you need to go through the steps of adding up your frequency and seeing what you need to times your total frequency by to get to 360. And once you've done that, you times each frequency by this value to find the angle for each section. So in this case we times each frequency by 4 because that's what we times 90 by to get to 360.